Nobody respects the man they can control. Machiavelli said, "It is better to be feared than loved." Because love is emotional. It changes. But fear is consistent. Fear makes people think twice. So if you must choose the one they won't test. People don't betray you randomly. They betray you when it benefits them. Machiavelli understood this early. Loyalty is not permanent. It is conditional. The moment you stop being useful, you become replaceable. So never depend on loyalty. Understand interest.
He lived most of his life alone, not because he hated people, but because he understood them. Friedrich Nietzsche was not like other philosophers. He didn't write to comfort you. He wrote to disturb you, to wake you up, because he believed something dangerous, that most people are not living their own lives. They are living borrowed beliefs, ideas given to them by society, by religion, by fear, and they never question it. Nietzsche saw this clearly. He watched people follow rules they didn't create, obey systems they didn't understand, and defend truths they never examined. And he asked one simple question: what if everything you believe is not yours? That question alone is enough to break a man, because once you start thinking for yourself, you lose something. You lose comfort. You lose certainty. You lose the illusion of safety. And in its place, you find something far more dangerous: freedom. Nietzsche called this transformation painful, because truth is not gentle. It doesn't care about your feelings. It destroys what is weak, and forces you to rebuild yourself from nothing. That is why most people avoid it. They would rather live in a comfortable lie than face an uncomfortable truth. But Nietzsche refused. He went deeper. He challenged morality itself. He questioned good and evil, not to destroy them, but to understand who created them. And why? Because he believed morality was not absolute. It was designed, created by people, to control other people. And once you see that, you can never unsee it. You begin to realize the world is not what it pretends to be. Power hides behind kindness. Control hides behind rules. And weakness hides behind morality. Nietzsche didn't just study this. He lived it. And it cost him everything. His ideas were too much for people. Too intense. Too uncomfortable. Too real. He became isolated. Misunderstood. Alone. But here's the truth most people ignore. He was not weak. He was ahead. Because when you see reality clearly, you no longer fit into illusions, and that makes people uncomfortable. Because your awareness exposes their ignorance, your freedom challenges their obedience, your thinking threatens their control. So they reject you, not because you're wrong, but because you see too much. Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Because life is not about comfort, it is about meaning, and meaning is not given, it is created, built through struggle, through pain, through understanding yourself, in a world that constantly tries to define you. So the question is not, what is true? The real question is, are you strong enough to face it? Because once you do, there is no going back. You will see people differently. You will see the world differently. And most importantly, you will see yourself differently. And that is where real power begins.
The person who talks the most usually has the least control. Weak men explain, strong men observe. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason." But you react to everything, every message, every disrespect, every little thing. And people learn one thing about you: you're easy to control. A Stoic doesn't react instantly. He watches. He waits. Silence makes people uncomfortable. They start wondering, what is he thinking? And that's where your power is. Not in speaking, but in choosing when not to.
Sun Tzu said, "The greatest victory is the one no one sees." Smart men don't fight to prove strength. They position themselves so they don't have to fight at all. Because once the battle starts, you've already lost control. Win before it begins, or prepare to lose after it ends.
Anger, jealousy, neediness. These are not just emotions. They are weaknesses. If someone can trigger you, they can control you. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." But most people, they react without thinking. They get angry fast. They get attached fast. They lose control fast. A Stoic does one thing differently. He pauses. He feels the emotion, but he doesn't obey it. Because real power is not in reacting. It's in restraint. Kindness is not respected. It's tested. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this. People don't follow good men. They follow strong ones. You give too much. They take more. You forgive too fast. They lose respect. You stay soft. They forget your value. A dangerous man is different. He is calm, but unreadable. He listens, but reveals nothing. He can walk away without explaining himself, because power isn't in shouting. It's in knowing you don't need anyone. And the moment people feel that, their behavior changes, not out of love, but fear.
They told him the world was too big to conquer. He didn't listen. Alexander the Great was only 20 when he took the throne. Most men at 20 are still trying to find themselves. He was already planning to take everything. He didn't fight for survival. He fought for dominance, kingdom by kingdom, empire by empire. He crushed them, not because he was the strongest, but because he believed something dangerous. There is no limit, only men who accept limits. While others feared death, Alexander feared being forgotten. So he moved fast. He took risks. He led from the front. And in just 10 years, he built one of the greatest empires in history, from Greece to Egypt to India. But here's the truth no one tells you. He didn't conquer the world. He conquered his fear of it. Power doesn't come from size. It comes from mindset. Niccolò Machiavelli knew, the most powerful government is the one you never see. You're not controlled. You're conditioned. Your thoughts, planted. Your fears, programmed. They don't silence you. They teach you what not to say. They don't force obedience. You choose it. Niccolò Machiavelli understood. When people believe they're free, control is perfect. And by the time you question it, you're already part of it. Loyalty sounds good until there's a better option. Niccolò Machiavelli wrote that men are ungrateful, fickle, and deceptive, not because they're evil, but because they follow advantage. Watch closely. When you're useful, people stay. When you're not, they disappear. So don't build your life on loyalty. Build it on value, because value is harder to replace. Be respected, not depended on. Being too kind in a selfish world is a liability. Niccolò Machiavelli warned about this centuries ago. If people see you as soft, they won't respect you. They'll use you. Kindness without boundaries is weakness, and weakness attracts pressure. So be calm, be respectful, but never harmless. Respect comes before love. If you show your plan, you've already lost. Sun Tzu said, all warfare is based on deception. Marcus Aurelius said, control your mind. Combine both, and you become dangerous. Because most people reveal too much. Their plans, their emotions, their weaknesses. That's why they get outplayed. Stay calm, stay silent, move without announcing, Win quietly. Never look poor in front of people, or they will treat you like you are. Niccolo Machiavelli understood something most people ignore. People don't respect truth. They respect appearance. If you look broke, lost, or desperate, they assume you have no value. It's not about money. It's about how you carry yourself. Calm voice, clean presence, controlled emotions. Because the moment you show desperation, you lose power. And in this world, power is perception. So walk like you have options. Speak like you have value. Move like you don't need approval, because people don't see your potential. They see your presentation.